But it has come out that the girl who allegedly set him up, this is not her first time. And here is a friend of hers exposing her per se.
So before I go further into this video, I'd just like to take this time to apologize to young Philly, to apologize to any of his friends, his family, anyone associated with him. And I would also like to apologize to any rappers in the UK who has seen this and has been affected and now feel some type of way about us females in Australia. I deeply apologize. We are not like that. There are certain individuals that like to take things too far, and it gives the rest of us a bad name.
So back to young Philly. This is the alleged friend of the accuser of young Philly. She's coming out to say, hey, this ain't right. Now it's 9 minutes. We don't need to watch 9 minutes of it.
I truly and sincerely apologize to all of you guys. And on behalf of everyone in Australia that has sense, we are sorry. So the media is concealing who this female is. So everyone's like, who is this mysterious female? This mysterious female is Miss Emma Burns, the one and only stripper and sex worker. Round of applause for Miss Emma Burns. Yes. So why am I so annoyed? It's because Emma Burns' friends have come out and they have exposed her. Emma went to the hotel with young Philly and they both had a mutual agreement.
Mutual agreement. Now, look, guys, I've met women at a hotel, and guess what? They know exactly why they're coming there. It's, hey, you coming to get clapped, we clapping, and you leaving, or I'm leaving, and everything is going to go all smooth. So she has already acknowledged that, hey, they had a mutual agreement.
When you have a mutual agreement, babes, it's consensual. So there's no there. It is consensual. Yes, if they, take it a bit further and stuff, then okay, yeah, it is a bit too much and charges can be pressed. But it was a mutual agreement. Emma Burns had then texted her friends and said, one of her friends, and told her friend how much of a good time she really had and that she was ready to go home. Could her friend book her an Uber? Remember that. Her friend should book her the Uber, but she's a stripper. Please remember these two things, okay? Because we're going to be very logic here. Her friend should book her the Uber. When her friend was going to book her the Uber, she then told her friend, oh, actually, I don't need it anymore. That doesn't sound like someone who's being sexually assaulted, Emma. That sounds like someone who's having a goddamn good time.
You see this? Hey, I need an Uber. Hey, you know what? On second thought, I don't need an Uber. And her friend's like, hey, it sounds like she's having a good time. And Red Bunny Classics is aware, man. Red Bunny Classics is plugged in. He said consent was rescinded after she left. A scam. Yes. Coach Greg Adams talks about how women are removing consent. They'll say, oh, I was coerced, I was forced, I was this, I was that. Men, keep your text messages. I would say you'd be better off if you recorded all interactions. But the text message is acknowledging that, hey, this is what's going to happen. And then you need a text message after it's done. Say, oh, thank you for a good time. We should do it again. And she's going to be like, yeah, we should. Boom, 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 boom. Then you good to go. So when she come back and she removed consent, you like, hey, she said she had a good time. She said she wanted to do it again. Where was this, she got choked or she got this or she got that. Let's keep it going.
A goddamn good time. Because if you were being sexually assaulted, you are in a hotel where there are hundreds of people on the same level. You could scream. You could text a friend because it seems your phone was working really fine, Miss Mance. You could run down to reception and tell reception to call the police if your life was at any danger or there was any threat of your safety. Those are three things you could have done. Screaming would have probably been the best one because I can guarantee you there would have been someone next door because we know how hotels in Australia is booked, packed and busy. Okay. Emma, you are a sex worker. You are also a stripper. There is nothing wrong with that because if I could shake my ass and get a little coin, I will too. So
trust me, if men could wear a low cut shirt and be on OnlyFans making millions, ninjas would do it. Ninjas would do it in a heartbeat.
But I am not bashing you for that in any way, shape or form, Emma. But it's pretty obvious your stripping career isn't taking you anywhere. The fact that you have to ask your friend to book you an Uber. Now, WA. I'm not from WA, but currently I am in Western Australia. Western Australia is not like other states in Australia. Example, Sydney. To get a 30-minute ride on an Uber could cost you about $80. In Western Australia, when I do book Ubers, somewhere that's 30 minutes away, it can cost me $15 to $20. An Uber is not that expensive. So clearly, sweetheart, your stripping career isn't going the way you thought it would go. So because it's not going that way, you now want to use young Philly for funds. And you knew what you were doing. But you're not going to get away lightly with this one. Emma Burns has also done this to another rapper before. Sorry, she has tried to do this to another rapper. I don't know if it's a rapper or a musician. Bryson Tyler. I don't really know who he is. But she has tried to do this to someone else before, and it was unsuccessful. But now she thinks she has hit the jackpot with young Philly. So everyone going around the media talking about this young Philly, they need to stop. They need to stop. Because this guy is genuinely innocent. Her friends have come out and said what she did. She knew what she was doing. So I understand people are like, oh, don't victim shame, don't victim blame. As someone who has been through something like that myself as a child, I will never sit there and back the predator, ever. But this generation, you guys take it too far with, you have to believe the females.
Yeah, guys, the whole believe all victims, believe all women, I don't subscribe to that at all. Family Court taught me that shit. But we have a part two to the young Philly situation. Let me put it up here. Because it's even more evidence is coming out that this man right here was set up. And I hate to see it happen. And, with XQC that, seeing him wronged, I hate that shit. It annoys me. I naturally want to do something to try to help. But in this case, there's nothing really I can do. And he can't speak on it. He can't speak on it at all because they don't want him using his influence to weaponize a fan base per se.
The woman who posted a video exposing young Philly's apparent victim has given another update.
I'm just going to give you guys time to read this comment because this sounds so stupid, and I will school you very, very quickly, and I'll get onto other comments that I keep seeing in my videos. Now, let me just make it clear. I don't know if this guy's name is Young Philadelphia and he calls himself Philly for short. I don't really know these people like that, but I'm sure that's his. Anyways, Young Philadelphia, Young Philly, whatever he is. I don't know this man. I don't even know his songs. I don't give two shits about this man. If I walked past this man in the street, I wouldn't even know who he is. Okay. So let's get that clear. People talking about you're a pick me. If I want to be picked, it is not by Young Philadelphia. No shade.
Now, here's the thing, right? Because he can't speak, a lot of people have been accusing her and some other vocal or outspoken people in support of Young Philly of being paid by Young Philly. They're calling her a pick me. It's all types of blowback just for speaking up. Whereas a lot of people like, I'm not even going to say nothing. Even his business partner, he can't say anything. And he said, look, man, I'm aware of the charges, but I can't say anything.
So this girl talking about, oh, it's a criminal thing, rah, 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 she's not going to get money out of it. Yes, you fucking can. In Australia, when you take someone to court, if that person is found guilty, you can take yourself straight to a claims lawyer. And in Australia, we know that claims lawyers, they are the most notorious of notorious. Those people are pit bulls on leashes, ready. They're just waiting for someone to say, I want to make a claim.
So think of Jonathan Majors, right? Remember that whole big misdemeanor where he got charged with like some form of assault because he reacted. He went overboard in a reaction to her trying to take the phone. He snatched it back. She got hurt. As soon as the guilty verdict came out, she immediately went and filed a civil suit. Now, we don't know the outcome of that civil suit. He probably settled, in all honesty. But I hear my man Jonathan Majors is down really bad.
They will dog people out and they don't care. And it's good. If you want to make a claim, it's good to know because these people don't care. They will go below the belt. Like I said, I have had something happen to me in the past and I have made a claim. People talking about it's not going to be that much. Really? Well, that's how much I got. That's how much I got.
15,000. Well, it says 20,000, but she went for $1 million. Now, here's the thing. Young Philly is worth millions. So the play is, if she doesn't recant her story, or if this goes to trial, if she wins, not only is his life going to be over, but that civil suit is going to come for every penny he's ever made.
That's $20,000 off $1 million. I tried to sue for more, but because it never went to court, because we did mediation and we did a settlement, that's what I managed to get. Okay. So yes, you can sue someone to get money. Okay. Secondly, I'm not one to sit there and back a predator. If I know that someone's innocent, it's just so obvious. Okay. So people talking about, oh, you're backing a predator. This is my article. I'm not here to back no predators. I'm not going to get into it. You guys don't need to read it. Please don't read it and don't even mention it to me. But I'm not backing no predator. I don't do that. If I see something is wrong, I will call it out and I don't give a fuck about anyone on social media thinking they can come for me. Me, You can never, on my soul, you can never, okay? So let's just get that clear. You guys think you're dissing me? You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time.
And here's the thing, right? If a man tries to hold another woman accountable, oh, you're being misogynistic, you hate women, blah, 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 you bitter, you scorn, you this or that. So when her alleged friend comes out and say something, then it's like, oh shit, what are you going to say now?
Now let's get into young Philly's bail conditions. Those bail conditions that he has, those are standard for a matter like that. Those bail conditions are not that deep. You guys really think about it, right? Because it's like you guys forget, okay, look, I understand some of you guys are not from Australia, so you won't really understand. But if the case was as serious as everyone's making it out to be on social media, that man would be behind bars. The fact that he's still allowed to roam the streets, he is not on an ankle monitor. Yes, he has to report 3 times a week, but if a matter like his was very serious, the police will put reporting once a day or twice a day. Okay, so it's not that deep. Those are standards. The reason why he had to forfeit his passport is because I'm pretty sure, well, from the looks of things, until he goes to court on the 16th of December and he amends his bail, he has to, pretty much argue to a judge on why he should be allowed to go back to the United Kingdom. If the judge deems that he's going to show up to court, he's not going to go to United Kingdom and just disappear, they will let him go back. And he will have to face his charges and everything from the United Kingdom. But when it comes to sentencing, he will have to come back to Australia for his sentencing, just in case he is found guilty. Okay, cool. Now we'll get into the CCTV. If the police are claiming the CCTV are as serious as they're saying it is, that man would have been in jail, okay? That man would have been in jail, because you guys know in Australia, anything that has to do with assaulting a female, DV, Australia, you're going to jail.
So he was extradited from the UK to Australia, and currently he cannot leave Australia. I believe he has a hearing in December. So in the meantime, he has to report to the police station 3 times a week. And every time he goes to report to him, it's a media storm, because this is big news out in Australia. I wish Zoe was here.
They don't care. They don't want to hear it. You're going to jail. The fact that people are saying, oh, she had bruises, she had this, she had that, so on and so forth. That man would have been in jail. He would have been on remand. And if he would have tried to mend his bail on his next court date, it wouldn't have even gone through. So the fact that that man is still walking the streets without an ankle monitor, without house arrest, if the case is so serious, without house arrest, be for fucking real. Like be for fucking real, guys. Like, dead ass. So as some people said, I wasn't there. I didn't know the agreement that he had with these girls, blah, blah, blah. That's right. But I will know tonight, because someone has come forward in my DM, I'm not going to say the person's name, that had an arrangement with young Philly, that had intercourse with young Philly. The messages are there. The screenshots are there. The proof is there. They've screen recorded, the messages, and then tapped on his profile to make sure, I know that it's actually genuine. So we're going to hear from that person. And don't you guys find it funny that young Philadelphia, whatever the man's name is, slept with all these girls, but he just happened to grape one?
Now, here's the thing, right? I can't rock with that. All it takes is you tell a man no who's used to hearing yes, and then maybe he snap. But her genuine sentiment is that he's innocent. Now, here's the thing. Even his ex-girlfriend speaks out defending this guy. I'm not imagine someone getting accused of rape and they hey, here's his ex-girlfriend. Now, when XQC got accused of SA, everyone was quiet. Not even an ex-girlfriend came out and said, no, he was never like that. Other than, what's her name? I forget her name. They're so forgettable sometimes.
Welcome back to What's the Scene Saying. A video has emerged.
That's private. We were speaking last year, can't give you really time frames, and rekindled at Misfits. I actually know Philly, so at least the people that are watching this can have something based on someone that actually knows him, and not people speculating and just know him from seeing him on the internet and girth and turf. Philly is someone that I know and get on with, right, okay? I'm not here to say things did or didn't happen. All I'm here to say, to tell you even, is my side of the story. My experiences with Philly made me feel comfortable. When we rekindled this year, there was actually, I'm going to make a point of saying this, there was a point where he was like, if you don't want to do anything, if you don't want to, bear in mind, we'd spoken last year, we'd been seeing each other last year, and even then he was like, If you don't want to do anything, if you're not comfortable, we don't have to. I just want to make a point of, he's never made me feel any pressure, and I think until we've got definitive answers to the question, I'm not discrediting what's happened. I don't know the ins and outs, and probably neither do you. I'm just here to give a balanced side of the story, you know what I mean? Just give you someone that's actually knows him, my side. I don't owe him anything either, you know, he's not asking me to do this, no one's pressuring me to do this. I just want to just say, let's all just calm down for a second until we know all the ins and outs, and my personal experience is that he was fine with me.
All right, so what do you guys think? Innocent until proven guilty, or is he just guilty off the rip? Now, a lot of people been floating her goddamn picture everywhere. It ain't something I'm willing to do. I ain't about to make a thumbnail, but here's his business partner, and then here's someone that's saying that, hey, when I met him, he was 17.
Yes, my peoples, like everyone, I've heard the reports coming out of Australia. Whilst I understand many of you want my reaction on it, as this is an ongoing court case, I hope you guys can understand that I can't and won't be commenting on it publicly. So yeah, I've just come on here to basically let you know the reasons as to why I can't. Love. Yes, my people.
All right, so they have a podcast together, and he look, he can't comment on it. Here's this girl who said, hey, I was 17 and I had an interaction with young Philly. Now, it's extremely vague of her, but, you know, it is what it is. It's the whole story.
And to be honest, I never planned on saying anything at all. It's only because of what's come out now that I feel like I should have said something in the past, and I should say something now. 4 years ago, I spoke to young Philly on Instagram DM. He DM'd me, and I ended up going to his flat. Him and his management, they worked very hard to manipulate me to his flat. Obviously me when I was 17, and to make me feel like if I said anything, then they could ruin my life would be over, you know, it'd be awful for me, awful for my mental health. So they convinced me to stay quiet, and right now I just feel awful because I feel like, in light of what's happened to this poor woman in Australia, maybe it could have been prevented if I'd said something before. I was 17, and when it first happened, the incident, I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. I was very alone, and I was very embarrassed. And
now it you know, some people will see this as a nothing burger because she has not provided any details. It's just a traumatic experience. But she said, hey, she was 17.
I literally didn't know what to do. I didn't want to talk about it then. And to be honest, I don't want to talk about it now. I don't want to go into details. It's embarrassing and it's horrible to relive it. However, I also don't want him to get away with this.
All right. So here's the thing. I recorded this last night after I finished work and saw what happened and started reading all the messages to clarify what has happened in Australia is a separate incident. I found about the same way everyone else did via the news and social media. The video involving me that has resurfaced are from an incident that occurred 4 years ago when I was 17. I don't know the woman in Australia. I don't know the full story of what happened. The only connection between us is both incidents involved the same guy. I've been receiving death threats and abuse for the past 24 hours. And many people think that I am the woman behind the referred to in the incident that took place in Australia. It's disgusting to see the messages I'm receiving, considering that what Philly has been charged with, and seeing that people are still looking to blame anyone but him. The messages receiving are now the exact. So, I mean, guys, it's the internet. It's the internet.